recording? Okay, it started recording, and a little warning didn't pop up, so hopefully it doesn't cut out again like it did last time the video stopped in the middle of it.
That wasn't very nice of it, was it?
No, it was not. So first, before we begin, I wanted to go over the Stardust sleepover, because I know there's some people who say they're coming, and then I get a little confused because you haven't, like, gotten a ticket yet. So I'm like, when are you coming? Because we have to pay for your food and stuff, you know? I mean,
right.
I don't think we'll allow people to pay the day of, because we have to go shopping for their food and buy all the supplies beforehand. So,
well, you know, it is possible, but that's something that they're going to have to risk, because we might be sold out. So, yeah, and just like you said, we have the option of choosing to, but I don't want to wait till last minute. We might even have to talk about having a cutoff date. Yeah. Let's talk about that later, because that's the way business has to be sometimes, because we have to know where we stand in order to plan.
Right, and we rented out an Airbnb, and I have to let the owner know how many people are going to be at the house. So there has to be a cutoff date at some point.
That's true.
So tickets, if you don't have to sleep over at the house. Some people are thinking that they have to stay at the house if they want to attend. You don't. Are you
referring to Miss Martha? I really want her to come. Yeah. You don't have to sleep over. You drive every day, girl. You get out there.
Yeah, you could just come by, and it's $150 for the event, and it includes the food, the breakfast, and the lunch for the day. Mm-hmm. And then the event's over every day by like the late afternoon. So then after that, dinner's on your own.
Well, not necessarily, because we all sort of do hang out, but we don't have a plan yet.
Yeah, we don't have a plan. Dinner is like kind of this.
Because one time we went out to eat. We all went to a restaurant, and another day we ordered in.
Yeah, we all pitched in and
that's going to be just a roll with it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so if you guys are interested in going, it's like 2 months away, and that 2 months is going to catch up pretty quick. Some people are asking if we're going to do another event, and I just don't know.
I have some talks about that, but I'm going to save that for later.
Okay.
I got some information for you.
Oh, okay.
On my to-do list, but it's good news. But anyway, that's later. And what's his name that's going to try to get matching pajamas with me?
Was it Jesse?
Yeah, that's so funny. He wants to get Hello Kitty pajamas.
Oh yeah, everybody, we're going to be wearing footsie pajamas, so if you're coming, try and bring like cutesy footsie pajamas if you want.
I got to buy some jammies.
I got Darth Vader ones for my sister. They're hand-me-downs. I would have purchased something else, but I don't have the money to buy pajamas.
Right.
Anyway, so hi everybody.
Okay. Hi.
We're done talking about business stuff. So if you guys are interested in coming, you can come. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's chill. Today we're going to be talking with a new extraterrestrial. Okay.
I chose to not know this yet, so this is news to me too. I can't wait.
Okay, so this is a Stardust. We want to make contact with many different extraterrestrials as possible. Ones that are not so popular, so we probably not for sure, but probably won't be like talking to Palladians and Arcturians and things like that. Not because we don't like them, but it's just because everyone channels them.
Something new. You can go find that on the internet somewhere else. I want something new. Exactly.
So this is a new girl. I don't know if anyone's channeled her before. She chose the name Arya.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is. She came to me about 2 years ago when Stardust first started, and she wanted to be interviewed, and I told her I would, but 2 years later, I still hadn't done it. Anyway, but she comes from, not that this is her star, but her planet's located in that general direction where Orion's Belt is. Correct.
Oh, okay.
Saying correct. She said it's the third star. I don't know which one is the third star. One of the ones at the end. I don't know.
The one on the right.
Yeah. I don't know, because you can count them any way you want, in whichever direction. But that's what she told me, the third star. I guess the third star to hers.
Maybe it's the belt. When you look, it's the third star in the belt. I'm going to go with that for now.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Anyway, how she looks, she's beautiful. And she smiled all shy, like, thanks. She's, the way their skin look is kind of like a pearl, the way it shines.
Oh, okay.
And she has these long almost kind of like cat eyes, but they're not slanted on the sides. They go up, so they're like elongated eyes, like
Oh,
almond shape, but they're really pointed at the top and kind of do this little curl thing. It's really interesting looking. And she has this elongated skull, and there's a like a veil on the back of it, and it almost looks like that's her hair, but I don't think they have hair. But it kind of mimics hair the way the
okay.
veil is. And she wears this long white gown, and she only has 4 fingers. That's what I saw. And she said that their species, I had asked them if they are in contact with humans, if we would know about them. And she said, you might if you have direct contact with us, but we don't, meaning that if you had like already connections with them prior to your lifetime as a human. That makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
Sure.
she said that
Like
they
a soul
don't,
connection more, or
yeah, a soul
yeah, okay.
connection. And she says that they don't make direct contact with humans. They're indirectly in contact with us through the species that are directly in contact with us. So let's just say, like, for instance, the Pleiadians.
Okay.
They are in contact with them, and then them with us. So they know about us, they hear of us, but they've never, have you ever, guys, ever been to our planet? No. She said, we've never been to Earth. And
Okay.
so I asked her how she heard about Stardust. And she
Yeah.
said that it's because she said extraterrestrials talk. And she said that word gets around about not just Stardust, but any other groups.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't have to be, what I'm getting is it doesn't have to be online. It should just be any group of humans that are open to
Okay.
contact. Word gets around fast. And she said that how they heard about it is they are in alliance with other benevolent beings like the Arcturians and Pleiadians and Blue Avians, all of them. Some people call them part of the Ashtar Command, or they call
Okay.
it the Galactic Council. My
Okay.
theory is that all these different names for all these
It's the
different
same
councils is
thing.
all the same
Yeah.
thing, and everyone just channels a different name.
Right.
Um, and she said that's not necessarily true. There are different groups. But she said that the Sarsahr have a base on their planet,
Oh.
and that's how they heard about it, is through the Sarsahr. And she said that I asked them what it's like to have them on their planet, and their entire species knows about it. And she said that they're very peaceful and extremely helpful. They came at a time when we needed them most in our history. And they
Oh.
only stay if we wanted them to stay. And we did, because they exchanged technology with us that could help advance our species, but in a peaceful way. So the way they trade technology is to help with our socialization, to help us become more together and more in contact with one another, because they studied us for a while, and she said we're a lot like humans in that we're spread around the planet, we're spread apart, and we always got into fights because each different culture had a different understanding of what it was right or wrong.
Wow.
And she said, and what the Sarsahr did was they came down, and this was, she said, we later found out that this was the whole plan for the alliance that they're a part of, the benevolent
Okay.
beings that they're part of. The Sarsahr, each species has their goal in mind of like the job they are to do with the specific species they're helping. So like the Pleiadians are helping humans with their evolvement through astral projection
Okay.
and opening them up to that. The Sarsahr's job is to make more direct contact among other species that make more direct contact. So she said that their job was to help us become more united by giving us technology that would allow us to communicate better and more easily. She said, and they're doing the same with the humans too. You see, you guys are so spread apart, so they're using the same tactics.
Oh, are you guys using love and friendship
Love and friendship to make friends with each other?
with the Sarsahr and them and the?
Yes, we have. There are a few couples,
Aw.
Sarsahr and their kind. Do we have a name for you? He says, I don't think so. She said you could just make one up. She said that their language is very different, and they don't use words; they use symbols. So see, like an octagon with a line
Uh-huh.
through the middle of it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know what that means, but I'm thinking that's their
The
symbol.
name of their
Yeah.
species, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
I can't pronounce. I can't even begin to. I can't do that sound. So we're just gonna call them the Pearl people, the Pearls of
That's
Orion,
beautiful. The pearls.
the Pearls of Orion. She said we're
Aw.
not located in Orion. We're just in that direction, behind
Okay.
that third star. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. The pearls behind Orion.
yeah. Do you have any questions for her?
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask some. So, well, at first I was going to ask, and I promise I'm not being judgy with this, but I was going to ask who would be considered more evolved, but it sounds like maybe the Sarsahr are if they've come to teach you. But
She's saying that I think you understand what you're trying to get at. Right now, we're at the same level in our evolvement since we evolved so quickly to their level, and they helped us get there. But we still haven't quite advanced space travel to the point that we can travel to your planet yet. We're still within only our own solar system.
Okay. Okay. Another question I have then is, what did you offer back? What was the trade? They gave you technologies. So what did you share?
She said that we didn't need a trade. They said that the only reason why they trade with humans is that's the way they do currency. They need to have that bartering system, and that's how they function. Okay. She said with us, we didn't need that trade, and they were just happy to help us because they wanted to help us. And they had first arrived and offered first, before they came to help us, they offered if they could have a base there on the planet, and if they would be comfortable with contact with not only them, because when you're in contact with their species, you are also in contact with the Greater Alliance. That's what she calls it. Okay. So that means, like Arcturians and Pleiadians and all those, the Yael too are part of it. Like a lot of species, like over 30 or so, are part of this huge alliance. So,
gosh, all the beings we can contact. That's so cool.
Right. And so she's saying that by agreeing to let them be on your base, you're agreeing to be part of this benevolent alliance. Okay. And you will get offered their help and whatever it is. And their agenda, she's talking more about the alliance, and their agenda isn't to plant their way across planets and try and bring people onto their side. They just want to bring peace among neighbors. Okay. And everyone to be in contact. Everyone can have their own goal or agenda, but as long as it keeps the peace, then they don't mind.
Did you guys have a similar, because, I don't know how to phrase this, but the Sarsahr are having to kind of sneak into our awareness in a way. What was it like for you guys? Are they known everywhere, or is it just a small?
Yes, she said they're known everywhere. With us, we didn't feel the need to keep secrets from each other, and we had a different struggle. That although we had there's 4 different countries. She's calling them countries because that's what we'll understand. Okay. But she said there's really just 4 different breakups of land mass throughout the planet. So those 4 were their own countries because they were just giant islands. Okay. And she said that that's why it was so hard for us to stay in contact with each other, because our planet isn't like yours where it's small enough and you can travel on a boat. For us, it was such a huge, expansive planet that it would take, even on a boat or even on a plane, it would take days to go from one landmass to the other. And she said that we didn't have the resources. Okay. And then we would get into, when we did make contact with other landmasses, she said there was a lot of tension because everyone had their own language, and then everyone had their own ideas of their own culture, their own morals and values, and it made us bump heads. And she said that with not just the Sarsar's help, but also the Pleiadians too, and also the Arcturians. They keep bringing up those 2 because I think those 3 are who greatly advanced them. Okay. The Pleiadians helped them with their belief system, and that not trying to change their beliefs, but make them more open-minded towards each other. And the Arcturians came in to it kind of feels like they're doing the same thing, but try and establish a new belief system, if that makes sense. If they're willing to accept it. They came in and are talking about basic things that and within the spiritual community, we know about like everyone's one.
Okay.
Everyone comes from the same source.
Okay.
So they came in and taught those things. And I don't know where else she's going with this, but she's saying that there's like, she calls them the 4 emperors. And she said she's the daughter of one of the emperors.
Wow.
Yeah. So she said, my veil is really my crown.
Oh,
that you're seeing.
beautiful.
And she said that this is a position you're earned. It's not just granted to you through blood.
Okay.
And unlike with humans where you don't trust your government and they keep secrets from you, we're open with our people. And we tell them everything that's going on. Even if it could, she said that we don't get panicked when something dramatic changes. She said that's just not how we're built to react to things.
Okay.
So she said that when the Sarsahr first came, it wasn't just them that came. It was this huge alliance ship that came with them.
Wow.
So it was all these different species that came. And it was because a lot of them were asking for help. A lot of us were asking for help because we all just wanted to, we were tired. Like she said, our spirits were tired of fighting with each other.
Who were you asking for help to? Was it like the Alliance, or were you asking God, or who?
She said our version of a God. We believed in there being a form of energy that, she said it wasn't a God or an entity that had a personality. It was we believed it like a sheath of energy around the planet that protected us. And you could talk to it and it would help you if you're open to its help. So we thought at first that the thing that was coming from the sky was the sheath opening.
Wow.
And it wasn't. And she said that I guess they had been studying us for much longer than we, than we thought. And they knew how to approach us. Like they were ready to approach us when we were willing to ask for it.
Okay. There's just so many questions to ask and so many directions to go in. I'm going to ask one thing, with your 4 countries, because you were so separate, do you have any evolutionary differences?
She said, yes, some of us are, a bluish color. She said, I'm more of the pearl, but there is some blue flakes in my skin and some of the pearls. She said, and some of the pearl, she doesn't understand what a pearl is. I'll call it skin cells. Some of her skin cells are blue and not the pearl.
I love her.
And she's talking about how there's some that have she said we all have this sheen though, the shine of our skin. But some of us are more, she said, I'm more whitish yellow.
Okay.
And she said, and then there's some that are more blue because where they come from on the planet, it's where the water is. They're more of a water country. They have a lot of rivers that run through, and our water there has a type of kind of almost like radioactive material, but it's not unhealthy to them. Okay. But it gives off this blue hue that rises up out of it and goes into the air, and that's why their skin turned blue or something like that.
Wow.
She said if she lived there long enough, her skin would turn blue. It's an effect of the environment of that area.
Okay. And can you describe like I don't know what word, just more like what your planet looks like, some of your beauty maybe, like how many suns do you have, or what does a tree look like? How many species do you have animals? She
says we don't have animals. She said that a long time ago we used to, but that was very early on in our evolvement, in our species' birth, and they slowly died off when the islands broke apart. And I'm thinking Pangea, when we used to have that that broke off. We have a similar story. Our planet has a similar story. Anyway, she said that their animals died because when the islands broke apart, there was still a lot of us. And we just ate them all. She said we weren't very smart enough. We didn't know about farming, and we ate them all.
This is funny. What do you eat now then? What do you eat?
She said we have to eat plants. But she says that when she goes to visit other planets, there are other species who do eat meat, who still have animals. That's interesting because the Sarsahr said that, within their solar system. So she's saying that there's only 1 or 2 planets that they know of that still have meat, and we eat the meat of those animals.
Okay.
And you know what I'm thinking? The humans on Earth, there's some of them who think eating meat's wrong. And she kind of, why? It's a food source. Because some people, and I believe this too, but I'm Native, so I have different beliefs regarding any meat. But some humans think it's wrong to eat meat because you're killing a life. You're taking a life. And she says, but wouldn't that life know that that's when they're supposed to die?
That's a good answer. And I can't get around that the plants are alive too.
Right. No, the plants are alive when you're eating them, and they know when you're eating them.
Right.
You know?
So,
they're alive and they're screaming. You know, the grass, that smell of the grass, that's it in pain, trying to heal itself.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So, I think it's kind of ironic. That's just my own thing anyway.
I know.
But she said that they believe the plants are alive too. She said all things are alive. And she said one day I may be eaten, but perhaps that's how I was supposed to die.
There you go.
She said that we just have different beliefs when it comes to death, and as humans do as well. So she said the way you view death it really shows how you view death, how you're viewing the eating of animals is really truly showing of how you view the afterlife and the soul.
Yeah, because we're so caught up in it. We don't realize it's just a transition. Yeah. Go ahead and eat me. Get me back home. I'm fine. Just kidding.
She's laughing. She's making a joke saying, yes, thank you for eating me so I can go home.
Right.
She said that's not what they're saying, but she was joking with you. But she says that she finds it interesting that humans would judge each other. She said of all the things you could judge each other on, you judge each other on your diets. And I'm like, among other things. We judge each other on everything.
I know, huh?
So
are you guys separate from Source the way we are? Do you feel more connected as a species?
She finds your little question. I love it when she gets confused because she goes like that with her head tilted. She said we do feel we're a part of a greater picture. She doesn't call it a source. She says that they believe they all go to one place, and that all species, if they choose to believe in the same place, they'll follow. And she said not because if you don't believe, you're not good enough. It's just that what you believe dictates where you go.
She's on to something.
Yeah, so she said that they believe in a higher power, and that they stem from that higher power. They said they don't know if other species do, though, because they can't speak for others.
Okay.
So she's saying, I don't want to put my beliefs down your throat. So,
do you have, like, in your societies, I mean, I'm just assuming that you know about ours a bit. Do you have things like schools and, I don't know.
She says, yes, we have schools. And she said that their schools are different and that they take place outside. They don't really have buildings. If they need to seek shelter, they'll go underground if there's something going on with the weather. But for the most part, that's so interesting. She's showing me they sleep outside. Like they'll just find a spot to sleep on the ground and stuff. They said that they don't build things in order to. They said that she said it's different on other land masses. It's interesting she calls it land masses. But she said that for them, where she lives, the ground is so comfortable, it's soft like a blanket. And it's very squishy and bouncy. And so she said that you could just lay down underneath the tree and go to bed. And sometimes we'll make pillows out of cloth. There's a plant that grows kind of like cotton. We grow cotton, but theirs is a different plant, and they can sew it and make pillows and clothing out of it.
What do you do? Do you have what we would call a position or a job?
She says, yes, I do. I don't know what this means. What's a curator?
Well, in a museum curator would be the one that takes care of it. Like, I don't know, like maybe assigning new, what's the word? An art, I don't know. God, I can't even think of the word, but the person that's in charge of the museum thingies or something like that.
I'm going to look it up because that's what she said, and then I'm confused. Curator.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys. She's offering if it would be easier if she said a different word. No. No, because now
She's on a mission now.
Now I need to know. A keeper or custodian of a museum or other collections. A person
She's in charge.
A person who selects acts to perform at a music festival. A curator. Okay, so she says she watches over her people in some way. It's part of her job since that's her father's position. It affects the rest of the family. Okay. And she says that it's like she handles like their well-being, their like how they're living situations, making sure that everyone's at peace, like happy.
A life curator.
Yeah.
That's cool. What's your lifespan in relation to ours?
We only live to about 80. She doesn't know a whole lot about us. Our average is like 80 years old.
80 human years.
80 human years. So she's saying that the way their planet moves, it doesn't spin like ours does.
Wow. What does it do?
So, but it does go around the sun, but ours goes around the sun, but it's spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the planet doesn't spin as it goes around the sun. So it's one side's really hot and the other side is like
wow.
Colder. She said, but we're close enough to the sun. Well, she's saying that our sun is big. She said it's what you would call being in the second phase. Okay. And so we're close enough that one side it's not too hot, and the beings that live there, they have a darker skin pigmentation. Okay. As a result, and she said that but they can live on that part of the planet. She said I could never go over there. She said it'd be way too hot for me, but it's not too hot that it's unlivable. Okay. She said that she's like not on the other side, but somewhere in the middle. She said where the sun meets the shade, as she says.
Oh, yeah, you're in the prime spot. It sounds like.
Yeah. What else is she saying? Nothing. She says, "Go on."
Well, okay. I want to know more about how tall. How tall is she, Heather? Is she ginormous or medium?
I think she's like 6 feet, something like that. She said the women don't get very tall. The men can get up to like 7.5 feet tall. But she said that this is as tall as she's gonna get. She looks like she's like 5'12", maybe, or 6 feet or something. Okay. And she's saying that they don't know how long they live, like how you would tell them, with our time reference.
Okay.
It takes 1 day for us. It's because our sun spins. Not our sun spins, but our planet spins.
Our Earth spins, yeah. But it's interesting that we can't communicate that span because she doesn't know ours and we don't know hers. That's interesting.
Ognats? Ognats? I don't know what that means. She's like 100 ognats or something like that. I don't know what that means. Something like that. I can't even begin.
I'll assign one of our viewers to go Google that for us and put it in the comments. See if it's out there. Interesting.
Oglinets. It sounds like omulet. Like she's saying omulet, but with a G. Ognulence or something like that. Okay. It's how they tell time. She said we go by the days and not by like hours or anything. She said that she was very interested in humans when she heard about the Sarsahr being in contact with humans and how that they're doing similar things to what they did with her species and bringing them more close together.
What's that like now? Do you guys fully interact?
Yes, she said, we're always in communication, and it was a huge deal when one of our races married another race. And so we have a bunch of mixture babies. That's what she calls them. Mixture babies.
How was that? How did that end up being now that, they've been around for a while? Was it kind of neat?
What, the Sarsahr being around for a while? Or
the babies, the new babies, the hybrid babies.
She said it's been so long that she said she wasn't alive during the time where it was a huge deal. But she said that she remembers, like, they tell stories about how it wasn't like how with us. But she's not saying not with us. I'm saying with us. Where if one of the first couples fell in love and it was like taboo or anything, it was already at that point where they already were accepting each other
Okay.
And when this, people of two different races got together, it wasn't this taboo thing.
Oh,
Right.
right.
It was
Okay.
just kind of for them, a further way of cementing together their friendships. So
Okay. And are there many gender differences between the male and female? Like, just anything, we could always have jokes about men and women and stuff. Do you guys have distinct differences?
she says, yes, there'll always be differences because one's a man and one's a woman.
That's
But
true.
she said that we don't hold one higher than the other.
Good.
But she said that we don't make jokes about gender.
Okay.
She said that's just not that we don't think it's wrong. It's just we don't have those. It's just not
Right. Okay.
something we laugh at.
And what do you do? Well, what do you laugh at? What's fun for you guys?
Wow. That is kind of funny. So she's giggling. She's showing me them doing like charades, like dancing and making funny noises and clapping and doing weird moves. Like she said that she said exaggerating how you feel through movement. So she's showing me one of the men, and he's he's dark skinned. He's like a very dark brown, like this is my little letter pressure thing, but he's this color. But
Okay.
like darker.
Okay.
A little darker than that. But she's talking about how he was making funny noises and like lifting his leg up and clapping underneath it and like doing weird stuff. And she's saying that he was trying to convey how he was feeling during one moment, because that's how we tell stories, is through a lot of body language, and we over exaggerate it to make it look funny.
So what does that mean when you throw your leg up and clap under it?
She said for us, our body language means something different. He was showing his frustration through doing that.
Okay.
And he was exaggerating him stopping his feet. So like, when you're upset and you're stopping, but he lifted up his leg up and would clap underneath it and doing these weird.
He was really frustrated.
Yeah. So yeah, and he was making these weird noises because that's their language, but it was like he was yelling it in a weird, like obnoxious way that sounded funny when he was speaking.
Interesting. How do you receive like a video? How are your people going to watch what we do if they choose to?
They won't.
Okay. Well, how did you know then? How did you learn about this?
We heard it through the galaxy. We heard it through the grapevine. We heard it through the galaxy.
Galaxy vine.
The galaxy vine. She said we're in contact with the Alliance, and they know what's going on with Stardust.
All right. And well, do you have a question, or can you find out all the information you want all but without us?
She said, no, I can't. She said that she wants to know how your progress is going with becoming more united.
Well, you know what? I think that's just a matter of perception, to tell the truth. It depends on where where your head's at.
She's like nodding her head like this, like she's super interested in what you're saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Personally, I think that we are becoming more unified. But I come from a really shiny place and love everyone. But not everybody does. So some people might think that, walls are being built between societies. That stuff's going on too.
She smiled and said, that's a good way to live, when you said you think of everything as shiny. She says, I try to live the same way. She says, sometimes I get sad, because sometimes sad things happen.
Right.
But she said the important thing is to lift yourself back up.
Are you guys kind of a positive species in general, or is that you?
She says, I would like to think so. Yes, we are. We're peaceful with each other and with others. Okay. So she said, so yes, I would say we are. We don't fight our own kind. She said, not anymore. And we are peaceful among other species who come to visit us. We welcome visitors.
Okay, I'll be right over.
She says, okay.
Well, I only gave you the opportunity for the one question, and I started asking questions again. Do you want to know anything else? Okay.
So that's okay. She says she's here for a conversation. So do you have a favorite color? She says yes. Okay, so there's these. I'm sorry, can you show me that again? Okay, so there's these water, they look like drops of water, but they're huge drops of water. They're like huge. And she's moving a giant leaf, and they show themselves there. She said they're not water, they're a type of bug, and they look like rain.
Wow.
And she said that sometimes they're different colors depending on the plant that they're at and the nutrients they sucked up from that plant. And she said, I like it when they turn, it looks like a purplish pink blue color. It's weird. It's like a purplish blue pink color that some of them will take up when they're on that specific plant.
Okay.
Anyway, I just like to know their favorite color.
Well, that is interesting because sometimes, they see colors that our eyes don't see. So I wonder how that's like for you as a medium. Can you see colors that you've never seen before in your mind's eye?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is a color I haven't seen. Well, at least not here on this planet. It's different.
Okay. All right, well, I'm not sure what else to ask because there's just so much. I don't know how long we've been going. Do you? How long?
We've been going for about 35 minutes. Let's
Okay,
see. What other questions do we have for you? She says, I have questions for you.
Lay them on us, girlfriend.
Okay, she says she's asking if you've conquered intergalactic travel.
Not me.
We haven't.
I
We're
don't
working
think so.
on it. We've gone to our moon. Okay, and then we're planning on going to Mars, which is a planet close to Earth. Okay, so she said, so you're still just within your solar system.
Very much so, yeah. We're little babies still.
She said, we're not too far off from each other, is what she's saying.
Okay.
In terms of technological advancement.
Okay.
And she said that they mostly focused on themselves first in their own internal advancement. Than the technological advancement, we're focused more on the technology part of advancing and not so much emotionally and mentally.
That's a good point.
She said, yeah, you seem to be going the opposite route than what we took.
Why do you know, where do you get your human information from? Just the grapevine again, or?
Yeah, she says, I learn it through them, and I've been wanting to study humans, but I can't get to your planet. And she said that, but it's okay. I'll just learn from other people who have contact with you guys. And she said the only reason why I find you guys so interesting is because of how similar we are. In that you have your different countries and your different leaders. In that we're seeing how other species are helping you guys. And she said that some of them are afraid of the help. Some of them think that there's some people who actually think the Sarsahr are evil and that they're here to destroy us or whatever. She says, why? I'm like, I don't know why. I think it's because they have contact with U.S. government and people don't trust our government. And so they think anyone who's involved with them is automatically bad. She says, oh, okay. I don't know what else to ask her.
Are you guys well, you just said, yeah, they are like are they more of a collective? Like they don't keep secrets and stuff like we do. Did she say that? I thought she did, but maybe not.
No, she didn't. Do you guys have more of a hive mind? She says, no, we're very individualistic.
Why do you trust your government more than we would?
Because we've never been given a reason not to.
Okay.
They've always been very truthful and honest with us.
Okay.
And she said it's the people that are in charge are the people we allow to be in charge, the people that have earned the right to be in charge. And everyone earns the right to have a voice, is what she's saying. And whereas humans believe everyone should have a voice, but not everyone has earned the right.
Isn't that interesting that it didn't even sink in? I was like, do you have a hive mind? Because it didn't occur to me that they would just trust their government because they do, because they don't have any reason not to. That's new.
Yeah. She said, no, they've never, ever in our history have ever deceived us before, kept any secrets. She said if they have been, they're very good at it.
Well, you guys seem to be relatively happy. So
yeah, she's saying that at first we had a very strong pack mentality when we lived on our own land masses and we didn't really have a lot of connection. So it forced us to become more unified within our own groups. Our own land masses, made them more closer because that's all they had was each other.
Okay.
And then it further made them about the us versus them when they found out about the different land masses.
Right.
And she said in a way that helped us to really trust our own governments. She said our own rulers. She said emperors. She calls them emperors. She doesn't say governments. And she said, again, emperors is something that's earned. It's people that they've worked their way up to that point.
Okay.
It's not something that people vote on. It's not something that is just given to you because of bloodline or anything like that. So she said, once my father dies, someone else will take over. And I'll go somewhere else, but she's saying that the 4 leaders for the different land masses all meet up every once in a while to discuss, to keep further peace, make sure everything's good and things like that, and keep in communication. So,
do you have babies? Do you got kids?
She says, no, not yet. She said, she's a single woman, and she has, she says she's talking about, there's, about 4 men who are wanting to court her, I guess,
Rock on, girl.
And she's saying court. Oh, that's a saying, just like dating or getting to know you before, like, you guys. They said they don't have a marriage, is what she's saying, like humans do.
Do you bond for life, or?
She says no. We change throughout our lives, so sometimes a partner that's good for one part of your life may not be good for your next part of your life, the next transition in your life. You may change and outgrow the person.
How does that work with the Sarsahr?
She says that, I don't know. And she's talking, like, she's saying, I would assume they would know about it and that they would be okay. Or maybe, she said, not everyone, just because this is the way the bulk of my people are, doesn't mean every single person believes in the same principle. Maybe they think that you should only be with one person for the rest of your life.
Okay.
But we're never with multiple people at once. We just move on.
Okay.
She said, because we've used relationships, having that close relationship, it's more about how you grow together and learn off of each other. And when you're done learning off each other, it's not because you don't love each other anymore or you're fighting or relationship's gone dead. It's just that you finished your time together.
Yeah. We actually have all of those dynamics here. You're together forever, you move on, or you fight and break up. We got it all here. Or we have multiples.
Right. But she said we don't fight and break up. We're much more open-minded. We're not sad about the endings of relationships, she said. Whereas humans try to grip onto it. She said, which I find interesting. I find it interesting if something's not working out, something's meant to end, why don't you let it go? She said it'll bring you more pain to hold on to it.
No, you're right. I talk about that a lot in my shows. It's a kind of an ego thing and a fear of change thing.
She said humans fear change, and that holds them back a lot. Well, no, not holds them back, holds them down. She said it holds them down.
Ah, yeah, that's a little bit different. Huh.
But yeah, she said that when a relationship's time to end, we'll both know, and we'll say, it's now over. Thank you for your time with me.
So there's no bitter breakups then, huh?
No, there's no such thing as a bitter breakup. She said she's never had one, and she said that she's very excited for these new men in her life. And she said that I don't know who I want to grow with, because they believe, this is very interesting, they believe that who you choose to grow with, they don't believe like in contracts or anything like that. So they don't believe in like a pre-planned kind of relationship. They believe that who you choose is how you're choosing in that moment to grow.
Yeah.
So they believe that if you're choosing guy A, then you're choosing to grow that way with guy A, and you'll be a different person than if you're to choose guy B.
That's true. It's like picking a college course, but a relationship course. That's trippy.
Yeah, so she said that's what we believe, and when it's done, then we move on to the next partner.
The next course.
Yeah, the next course. She said that's an interesting way of looking at it.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to kind of use that. I'm going to apply that to my own life.
It makes it like letting go so much easier.
It really does, because friendships do ebb and flow. I have, my neighbor, I was this close to her, this close. And I still see her on Facebook and stuff, but we just don't have anything in common anymore. I love her. There was no breakup. There was no fight. We just went in other places.
Right. She said sometimes she feels with humans there's so many bitter breakups is because not just with relationships, with friendships and with family, She said, we apply this even with family. Sometimes that's not
Right.
your close family member anymore. That's still your blood relation, but that she said they don't really have the dynamic of family the same way that we do. But she says that it's because humans just keep holding on to it, and then it's going to clash because she said your energies, your vibrations no longer mesh well. So you guys are retracting from each other, and it's going to be a forceful retraction. And that's where negative feelings come from. Doesn't mean that person can't always come back into your life.
She's absolutely right about that. And I want to just stop right there and give a little human advice for the humans here is that, many of us that are on this path, we just don't vibrate with our families anymore. And we're always told you must love your mother because she is your mother. Well, that's not necessarily true. You don't have to wish them ill will.
Right.
But if you don't vibrate in the same place, don't force that relationship. You don't have to.
She's saying, I love my mother because she gave me life. I will always love her and appreciate her for that. She said, but I do not love my mother in the same way that humans must love their mother. She said, I do not get along with my mother. And she said, in a human sense, she said, that we're not fighting. She said, we just don't, she said, ebb and flow well. She used your term.
Yes.
We don't ebb and flow well right now, but that doesn't mean we won't come back to each other later. She said, to humans, this may be viewed as sad, but to us, this is not sad. This is just how it is. It doesn't mean that anything is over because nothing's over. Because she said, again, we believe we go all to the same place in the end, and that's where we'll always be, she said, connected. We'll always be on the same ebb and flow on the other side. So it doesn't matter what happens in this life while you're living.
Yes.
Because you came here to, she said correct yourself, but she said, I'm going to say to learn. She said,
right.
She said, that's better. Some of the words she uses is a little awkward, like correct yourself. She meant to say learn. I'm sure she did, but,
Yes. Yeah, I get it. To heal yourself and, all that stuff. And
yeah, she said, you're here to learn. So how you learn, sometimes you will not have relationships with some family members or some close friends. But when you go over to the other side, you will always be connected. But you just can't be at this moment because it's about your growth. And sometimes that person's not meant to help you with your growth during that time.
Yes. And, a huge thing is that's one of the things that we're supposed to cut out toxic relationships. And sometimes toxic just means a lack of common vibration. It's okay to separate yourself from these people. For self-preservation, it really is. I don't talk to my brother and, he's fine. I love him. He's on his own path, but we're not close, even though he's my brother. It's okay. I'll find him again on the flip side.
Right. She said, yes, that's exactly what we believe. We will catch each
Love that.
other on the flip side.
Right.
She's so cute. She's adopting some of her terms. She likes to
That'd be
use them.
so funny. I should go talk to her friends. Are you going to tell your friends about this? That you talked to some
said yes.
aliens?
She said,
now,
yes,
will
I
it
will
be
tell them.
strange to them? Will they believe you? Because, we only have like a little group of people that believe our stuff.
She said they'll believe me. And we don't have any reason not to. We don't lie. We don't have a need to lie to each other.
Okay.
We're very
Well,
honest.
we don't lie. Just people just don't understand. They just,
Right.
huh? What do you mean an alien?
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us for today.
Okay.
with Arya.
Arya, that was so awesome. I loved meeting you.
She said, I love meeting you both too. And she looks forward to coming back. She wants to come back sometime.
Okay, come back. And at the very least, we will see you on the flip side. It's a date. How's that?
She said that sounds like a fabulous day. It sounds like a good date.
Okay, but we're going to do it before then. All right,
Okay.
Arya, thank you so much for coming on Stardust. We loved it.
And she says, thank you. She was honored. So
Oh,
she hopes you have helped us in any way.
I think so. Always. Learning is always expansion and evolution. You did
I
it.
loved how different that they function.
Like, what do you mean, function? Like,
With the whole like relationships thing, how they just like
yeah.
let go of it and it's not a huge deal. With us, that would be like torment,
I used to feel guilty about not maintaining my friendships, but it's just true. And if you allowed more new people to come in, I mean, the old ones, you don't have to it just really is an ebb and a flow, and we're meant to grow and evolve. And if you just stick to the same thing forever and ever, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So allow that change without clinging to what.
Yeah. That was fun. I liked that.
That was neat. I loved that. Thank you.
And I was even surprised what I was saying. I'm like, this is not for me because I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
That was neat. Man, I wish I could see. Okay, so if you saw like a man one, is he handsome? Like, to our eyeballs.
To our eyeball. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mean it like that.
No, I didn't mean like Kari and Heather eyeballs necessarily, because we're a little freaky. But like to a human, are they attractive to humans? Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah.
They don't have six packs like we do. They have like a weird. I don't know, but it's fucking hot. I'm into it. They have this. I'll have to draw it, but a fit male. He has the typical muscular arms that human males will have, but not like super, like kind of like the super heavy lifting weight guys. It's just like he lifts weights.
Lean and bumpy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not super muscly like we get, but
who are you looking at?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm into them. Don't tell someone.
Did somebody handsome come just so they can describe him? I mean,
yeah, and he has this silvery, spiky hair that flows out in a spiky. Kind of looks like a bunch of starfish ends, and they move on their own a little bit. It's weird.
Really?
It's silvery.
Run your hands through his.
And he's I think he comes from because he's a different skin color than the other girl. He's more of a.
He's on the bright side of the planet.
No, he's like a grayish blue. Kind of.
Okay. Trippy.
Yeah, and he's so fit. Like there's this little crease around the lower abdomen part that shows how fit they are, because that's where their muscles are. The bulk of it, not around in the middle of the abdomen, more around the sides. Yeah.
Is he winking at you?
No, he was just showing himself. He has no, he's interested, he's curious about me, but it's not, the way he's looking at me is weird. He's like going all in like that. Hi.
Strange. This is so strange. God, I want to see what you see. Thanks for describing it. It's the best we can get.
His eyebrows match the color of his hair, like the white and silver.
What are his eyes like? I mean, are they attractive? Are they? Because we kind of like those kind of cat almond eyes. They're attractive to us.
They're a darker color, and they're smaller than hers.
Okay.
And they're more kind of like ours, the way they're slant. They're not up curved.
Okay.
But
what's he wearing? What are you wearing?
He's topless. And he's carrying this kind of staff thing.
Really?
I think he's just trying to show that he's maybe like a warrior type for his people or something. And he has something on his neck, like a necklace thing that he's wearing. It looks like shells.
It sounds a little yummy.
Yeah. He's not my husband, but he says, "Oh, you're married," and he stepped back. Yeah, I'm married. Too bad. If I wasn't, I would have been all over that like white on rice. Trust me.
I got 2 open marriages. Bring it, big boys.
Yeah, he's gonna go over to you now. So yeah, but he wears these brown, kind of look like they're very loose fitted pants. They're like this type of soft cloth. These brown cloth made into pants thing.
What's your name? What's your name, handsome?
He says I don't have a name. That kind of like he doesn't have a name that you'd be able to pronounce. I don't know how to say that. It's almost like I don't know how to explain their language. It's a weird sound. I don't even know where to begin to compare it to what other animal.
But you can hear them talk in their language. You just don't have the. That's so strange. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll just call them the cute pearl guy over then.
The cute
blue-gray pearl man.
The cute pearl man. Yeah. I don't know. That's a joke with the Arya earlier. Okay. Anyway.
All right. I better wrap this up. I might have a date later on. I don't know.
Sam better not watch this. He's going to hate it. All right.
Okay. Don't worry. I'll take them off your hands. I got it's cool.
Sorry.
All right. I guess we're done. Are we done?
We're done.
All right. Thank you. That was really neat. I love that. I love this fucking job. It's just the best. You're like, do you want to? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. I want to talk to all the aliens.
No, it's a hobby for me. I just do it whenever I want. So
I know, isn't that cool? All right, then. Signing off. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, baby?
I love you too.
Bye.